Protected disclosure. Sounds like the name of a rock band.
That's nothing quite so exciting. Extremely important though. A protected disclosure, put simply, is a whistleblowing concern about wrongdoing raised by a worker with someone in authority.
And what's protected about it?
Well, if you make one, then you have the legal right not to be dismissed from your job or treated badly by a colleague, an employer, an ex-employer as a result. However, not every concern raised by a whistleblower will be a protected disclosure. And not every person who thinks they're a whistleblower is in fact legally a whistleblower.
Okay, hold on. You're making my head hurt.
Sorry, which bit?
So firstly, why aren't all whistleblowing concerns protected disclosures?
Because a disclosure needs to meet certain legal tests before it can be protected.
Oh, right. I thought anyone could whistleblow about anything.
Afraid not. Common misconception.
Okay, so who sets these legal tests?
The Employment Rights Act 1996, with the help of the Public Interest Disclosure Act 1998. An employment tribunal judge, when hearing a whistleblowing claim, will decide if these legal tests are met.
So you've guessed my next question.
What are the legal tests? Well, classic lawyer's answer, I'm afraid. It depends. In every case, the person raising concerns needs to be a worker. There are extra legal tests if you raise concerns with a regulator or the media, for example, but the easiest way to make sure a disclosure is protected is to speak to your employer, because there are the fewest, 3 legal tests to meet. So firstly, you need to disclose specific information. You couldn't just say about your colleague, Clive is a thief. You'd have to be more specific, like, I overheard Clive saying that he's planning on stealing the office telephones.
Right, got it. Provide detailed information.
Secondly, the information you disclose must, in your reasonable belief, tend to show at least one of 6 types of wrongdoing. Criminal offence, a breach of a legal obligation, miscarriage of justice, danger to health and safety, damage to the environment, or deliberate cover-up of any of the above.
Right. And is this just wrongdoing that's already happened?
Happened, happening, likely to happen in future.
Okay. And what if I'm wrong about the wrongdoing?
Doesn't matter. It's what you reasonably believe that counts. Let's stick with Clive. Let's say that you raise concerns with your manager about Clive's plans. Your manager, who loves Clive, fires you as a result. You bring a claim for whistleblowing unfair dismissal. Now, assuming you've disclosed enough specific information, the judge will decide firstly whether you believed that the information showed one of those 6 categories of wrongdoing, which you did, criminal offence. Secondly, they'll decide whether that belief was objectively reasonable. Now, I think they would think it was in this case, but they wouldn't think it was reasonable if, instead of overhearing Clive talking about his plans, you just thought that he looked like a bit of a shifty guy.
Okay, I think I get it. And what about if a CEO is harassing staff? Could that be a whistleblowing concern?
Definitely. Sexual harassment is a criminal offence. So as long as that whistleblower had a reasonable belief and they disclosed specific information, then their disclosure would likely be protected. But don't forget there is a 3rd legal test. The concern, again, in your reasonable belief, has to be in the public interest. So it can't just be about you. It can affect you, but you have to believe that there's a wider impact. This would be pretty straightforward in the case of Clive. Public interest does not mean general public necessarily. It can be something which affects a group of workers within an organisation. With the CEO, the public interest test would also very likely be satisfied. That's a person in a senior position, potentially sexually harassing multiple members of staff.
Okay, I think I've got it. So you've got to be a worker, provide detailed information, reasonably believe that the concern you're raising tends to show one of the categories of wrongdoing that you listed and is in the public interest. Did I pass the legal test?
Flying colours. But remember, you don't need to memorise all of this. You can call us at Protect for help before you blow the whistle.
Good to know.